Hi, I'm Anneliese from Eye Candy Quilt, and my cat's going crazy. So let's see if we can do this. So let's talk about my #1 key tip for doing a scrappy quilt. Let's go. Hello. Okay, like I said, I'm Anneliese from Eye Candy Quilts. I'm one half of Eye Candy Quilts. Brenda is my other half, and she's not here right now because, of course, I'm filming this late at night because that's what we do. We're night people. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, I'm one half of my Eye Candy Quilts. Eye Candy Quilts there, and we design quilt patterns for a range of skill levels. And one of the questions that we get asked a lot is, how do you do a scrappy quilt? And that's one of those things where it's I hate to say we're known for it, but we're pretty good at it. So it's one of those things where we like all the fabrics, so that helps. Is like, if you buy everything, then you have more opportunities to smush them together. But my #1 key thing when we design a quilt or we look at a quilt is this is the key tip. If you have a scrappy quilt and you have all sorts of things going on, whether it's a controlled palette or a whole bunch of scrappy things from one designer that's colors all over the place, or one company, manufacturer all over the place, or if it's just a true mishmash of everything. What will help make everything tie together and make your scrap go more smoothly is if you have one element that is the same fabric in every block or across the quilt. So if you have one fabric that's your anchor or your constant or something, that will pull everything together and it will look more cohesive that way. So a lot of the times when we do stuff is like, for example, this is our portal quilt. And portal I love because it's charm pack friendly, so you need pairs of charms for, like you do for a lot of charm packs. So that one was made with the equivalent of 4 charm packs, so 2 pairs of charm squares, or you could also do it with a layer cake and cut it into 4, and that would be a good way to do that too. But that was, you can do it with charm squares, and that's a very easy way to work on it. But the other thing with this is that it has lawns in it and bark cloth and regular cottons and wovens, so it's got not only different colors and manufacturers going on, it's got different fabric textures. So what really helps bring everything together and make it look like one, aside from the quilting, and my quilts are gonna fall off over here. Okay. Aside from having edge-to-edge quilting to pull everything together, is you have that one constant background fabric that's a Japanese cotton linen blend. Again, texture is always fun. So that one fabric pulls everything together across the quilt. So portal, we call it the constant in that pattern. So it is one fabric pulls everything together. A couple of other examples. So this is, again, unbound. My next 2 ones are unbound because I hate binding. I hate it so much. Anyway, so this is a controlled color palette where basically it functions as a 2-color quilt. So you have all these different low volume, low contrast whites. This one's actually a pale blue and pale pink. We've got some lavenders in there, pale pastel colors. So they go together, but what helps is that you have this one background fabric through the whole thing. That silvery Essex linen helps tie everything together. So that's an easy way to do it, is the background. So this was the constant, where it's not really the background for the quilt. This is the background, so it's the same thing throughout. And then this is Diamante, the baby quilt version that I did. So this one is, again, one where it's very, lots of different patterns, lots of things going on. So we've got, conversation prints with bears and Alice in Wonderland and tigers, if you can see them. We've got all of that going on, and then to tie it all together, the thing that moves across all the blocks is the same Allison glass fabric and the same diamonds right here. So I have 2 constants just to make it easier, and I was tired. So this one yellow, so instead of doing the background the same, it is sort of the figure is the same, the color is the same throughout the whole quilt. So each of these 3 quilts have very different looks, and they have very different fabrics. This is one where there's no repeat. The Fierce Conifer has no repeat. There's repeats in that one because the blocks are smaller. But that having all of the fabrics work together, the big prints, the different weights, the different sort of styles, they all work together because there's that one fabric, that constant, that anchor ties everything together. So when the next time you look at a quilt and you want to dive into scrappiness, but you're not exactly sure where or how, pull everything you love and then pull one thing that complements the rest of them, and you'll be fine. So you can do it. Just get started. Maybe do a test block first. Test block never hurt anybody, but you can do it. You can handle your scrap. So I will talk to you next time. Thanks for following along. As always, check us out at www.eyecandyquilts.com for shenanigans